Yeah, I know we're live, people. I just, I thought I'd start off quiet. I thought I need to just worm my way into this. I need to, no, let me just take a sip. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. Oh dear, we moved to the Emirates to compete with the. Don't worry, we never wanted him anyway, did we, people? What's going on, people? Welcome back to Arsenal Therapy. We are back. I just had a feeling we would be back here at some stage this season. And we are. Saturday night. Happy Saturday night to everyone, by the way. As I always say, people, don't let Arsenal ruin your weekend. There's more to life. But, of course, we're going to have to break it down. And we're going to break it down in the real way. I'm not here to mix my words, people. I'm going to say it as it is, people. Let me tell you that. The accountants are on Twitter. They're celebrating. They're throwing notes in the air. £20 notes, £10 notes. We've saved wages. We're rich. We're rich. When the accounts come in, we'll have more money than everyone. We're rich, people. Yes. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. They're celebrating all the money we've saved. Let's see if that wins us the title, all that money we've saved, Yeah, we've saved money. All right, cool. Big up C-Law for becoming a member. Hope you are well, bro. And big up Machego. Same old Arsenal. No change. Never rated him. Now, let me start off with the shameless thing. I never wanted him anyway. He's a car park Neymar and he looks like Justin Bieber. He's played 29 games in Ukraine and I never rated him anyway. I don't want nothing to do with that fraud Mudryk. I'd never heard of him 6 months ago. I thought people were saying Mudryk's name wrong. So that's the first of all, the shameless bit. I never wanted him anyway. That's what we say in the confines of the community. But let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100, people. When is this football club going to wake up and understand how elite sport works in this country, people? When are they going to understand the Kroenkes? You can't lay with the sharks if you can't swim, people. These men want to act like big boys. You don't go in the deep end of the swimming pool if you can't tread water, my friend. You don't go in the deep end of the swimming pool if you cannot tread water. Otherwise, guess what? You sink. These men are frauds, these Kroenkes. And let me just get one thing straight here, by the way. Am I devastated that we haven't signed a guy from Ukraine that I'd never heard of 6 months ago for 100 million euros? That's not the problem. That's not the problem for me. Walking away from Mudryk at 100 million euros, that's not the problem. Because any other club would say, okay, we can't get Mudryk, so let's go and find the alternative and get somebody else. If that was the case, I would be fine. Who is this Mudryk? He's a young talent with potential, 100 million. Chelsea are paying him £200,000 a week. Top earner he would be at Arsenal. 29 games in the Ukrainian league. 100 million, on the face of it, not the end of the world. Do you want me to tell you the problem? The problem I've got is you've spent months trying to sign him. You've convinced us all to get excited by him. And all the Arsenal fans are watching videos, getting excited. Look how quick he is. I can't wait for us to sign him. We don't sign João Felix, £110 million striker, because there's no buy option at the end of the season. Don't worry, we're going to sign Mudryk. And guess what? Yeah, he comes to London, he goes to Chelsea. Another one. And I'm not talking about DJ Khaled's latest album. Another one coming to London and signing for Chelsea. I mean, are we turning into rent boys? What's going on here? We do all the dirty work and Chelsea coming at the end and sign them. What's going on? What's really going on here, people? After all these years of being a top club, we're turning to a little side dish for Chelsea. It's wild. No Arsenal fan can sit there tonight and be happy with what's happened in the past week. No Arsenal fan. Whether you wanted Mudryk or not is not the issue. They identified this guy and couldn't get the deal done. And Chelsea come in at the end and just dropped the bag on the table and walked out with him. It's absolutely insane. Arsenal are the only club I've ever seen that can be top of the Premier League and yet everything seems negative. Why? Arsenal fans are on Twitter laughing at Todd Bowley. Why are we laughing at him? He's showing ambition. He's going for it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The problem is we have muscles and we can't flex them. We can't flex. Marco said, my head's so hot I blocked Fabrizio. Oh my day. Fabrizio might need to get blocked. I can't lie. I can't take it no more. How come every time he does a here we go, it's got nothing to do with Arsenal? When are we going to get a here we go? No here we goes at Arsenal. I called it, this is all a smokescreen like last January. The meltdown begins. Watch them go for Trossard. They're just stringing us along like January. Oh, African giant. Here he is again. I can't take it, man. Not Chelsea again. What's wrong with Todd Bowley, man? Relax. Stop signing everyone. We know you've got money, bro. It's too much, man. Buying everybody out here, man. We can't even breathe out here. African giant said, I warned you. I warned you, Curtis. Remember when I splashed the cast in the super chat telling you lot to move quick before I call Todd B? Personally, look where we are now up the Chelsea. Add this to the fund and go buy Leao before I call again. Bro, we ain't buying Leao. Dre called it and I keep saying it. Arsenal's January transfer signing is Emile Smith-Rowe. You got it bang on, Dre, and I will keep saying it. Arsenal's major signing of January is Emile Smith-Rowe. And that is the truth. Like a new signing, blah, blah, blah. This is where we're going with it. I'm going to go into more detail. People. We're like Alicia Keys right now. No one. No one's coming to us, people. Alicia Keys settings. But don't worry, Smith-Rowe's back from injuries like a new signing. Big up Southern Gooner. Afternoon from across the prong, Curtis. We waste so much time, exhaust all our options on players, only to walk away with nada. Edu needs to be looked at for his inept behaviour in the transfer windows. I mean, last January cost us top 4. We missed out on Champions League to our biggest rivals. Mad pain got me ripping up shirts during inflation. You're top of the Premier League. Like, you are top. You can win the title. Man City just lost. Man City just got beat by Man United. You beat Tottenham tomorrow, you're 8 points clear. Pep come out today and said, I don't care if Man City win the Premier League. His head's gone. He's hot and sweaty right now. He just wants to win the Champions League. He can't believe what's happening. He's lost twice in a week. Pep said they're not signing anyone. Arsenal, go and sign 2 big players and go for it. Yeah, we'll chase this guy for months and watch him go to Chelsea. And the fan base will lap it up and celebrate the money we've saved. Oh, we don't sign João Felix now. No, too much. What about Mudryk now? I didn't want him anyway. Okay, who are we going to sign? No one. All right, how does that work? Yeah, we won't win the title. Oh, but at least we got 4th. It's why I had to wear the old Arsenal shirt, because I don't recognise Arsenal no more. Since they moved to this stadium, I don't really know who they are anymore. Spending 100 mil on Mudryk is not ambition. Balogun is more prolific by the numbers. Bro, let me tell you this. This is where I'm going with this. This is the conversation. Apologies if I missed any super chats, people. They're absolutely flying in. I need to slow it down even more in the comments. So apologies if I have. If Huggy Bear said I'm being negative. Huggy Bear, dear me. I prefer not to. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. We got a long way in this Arsenal therapy session. There's a lot that I need to say, people. There's a lot that I need to say. Chris Fraser said, let the kid collect his money at Chelsea. Edu, get out there and use that 90 million to buy experienced players in key positions that will help us win the league. McAllister or Savic, as well as Wilfried Zaha. And I agree with that. We're going to talk about that because every problem has a solution, but will Arsenal find it? 6,000,007. Big C, I'm in the exact same place as you. It's not about missing on the player. It's the fact Arteta wants the players and they haven't backed him. Let me tell you something. Look at this guy. Why is man doing this? Listen, you had a good result today. Big up, my guy. The game is the game. I can't deny it. Big up, Saeed. Make sure you go and follow him. Good win. I'll see you next week. Preview settings. Gunnar Roller said, get ready for no value in the market. Let me tell you something. What do they say? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Arsenal keep on doing the same thing. I told you, when I'm peckish and I want to go shop and buy a Snickers, boss man tells me it's 70p. I don't put 45 pence on the table and say, can I give you the other 25 pence in instalments? When the next brother's behind me with 70 pence in his pocket and flings it on the desk, boss man ain't giving me the Snickers in instalments. If you want the player, pay the money. Stop embarrassing yourself. Stop acting like we're some small-time team. Mikel Arteta identified the player. He's put you top of the league. You, man, don't want to pay the money. So find the alternative. You didn't want João Felix because there's no option to buy, and we can't take a loan player for 6 months, even though he might help us win the Premier League. We're going to sign Mudryk. Okay, sign Mudryk then. Now he goes to Chelsea. Chelsea have stumped us twice in a week. These men are mid-table with Crystal Palace and I don't even know who's in mid-table in the Prem anymore. Them men are in mid-table signing players we should be signing. It's wild. Joe said, big up from South Texas, negotiations and close FC strike again. I swear these clowns are allergic to signing anyone. I have zero faith they will sign anyone. Don't worry, they've signed Smith Rowe, people. That's our big signing of the window. Kaz said, you can't walk in the shop off a £60 for the Arsenal top that costs 70. Vieira costs 34 million. No one speaks about money. Quickly buy Zaha, Bowen and Tielemans. Daniel said Edu wouldn't even manage to recall Balogun. I've got a lot I need to say, people. I just don't want to miss some of these super chats. Over 4,300 of you in the chat. Lots to talk about. We are first, need to focus on our game tomorrow. But the thing is, this is a distraction that these players don't need. They don't need this. They should be concentrating on the biggest game of the season. He said we're all over the place. Vivek, I couldn't give a F about bantering Arsenal. My team is begging for midfielders and a backup right back. Now won't get one. Mudryk. Is Mudryk even good? You lot made compilations. Vivek's not even happy with him. Alfred said, for me, it's not about the money. It's about being able to flex, letting other teams know they can't bully us. Teams don't bully the big clubs. Let me say something. Right, let me say something here about Arsenal Football Club. And I want to make this abundantly clear, by the way. Abundantly clear. I am not sitting here right now overly disappointed about the fact that we did not sign Mykhailo Mudryk. Let's be real. How many people in the chat have watched Mudryk play more than 2 or 3 times in terms of a live game? I've watched him play twice in the Champions League only because we were linked with him. I've never claimed to be an expert on this guy. I've been watching compilations on YouTube all week, trying to force myself to get excited about him because I thought he was signing for Arsenal. I'm like, look how quick the guy is. Yes, dribbling. Him and Martinelli, blah, blah, blah. But I never pretended to be no expert. I wasn't jumping through hoops for Arsenal to sign this guy. I've been saying on this show for the past year, go and sign Wilfried Zaha. And we're going to talk about alternatives towards the end of the show because every problem has a solution and big clubs solve problems. It doesn't always work. I have no interest in anything what Chelsea are doing. There's Arsenal fans on Twitter going, oh, Chelsea, so stupid. Spent 100 million on him. We've saved money. Edu's got a master plan. I don't care what they've got on their plate. I tell my son this all the time. Don't worry what other people got. You have to concern what you've got. I don't care if Chelsea spend 500 million. I don't care about financial fair play. I care about what Arsenal have on their plate. And right now we have nothing. Where's the new signings? You're top of the Premier League. It's the biggest opportunity you've had in years. We are top and we're moving like small fish right now. We're moving like some mid-table dons that can't believe they're top and don't know how to deal with being at the top of the league. Chelsea showing more ambition than us and they're mid-table. They've got nothing to play for. Where's the ambition out of Arsenal? Let me read these super chats, then we'll get into the nitty-gritty and the Fabrizio tweets. Southern Guna said, don't want to hear anything about us not having cash. We have 90 million sitting around. That can get us 3 players to get this team over the line. Gunnar Roller said, Saeed can't be. Man United got swiped for Gakpo, same way. At least with Man United, right, they've got a bit of a explanation for their issue. Because they can turn around and say, well, the owners are selling the club. Why is the club going to really go mad and give them loads of money when they're selling the club? They say, we're not buying Gakpo, bro. We're selling this club. We don't care. Curtis, do you really admit that Mudryk is worth 100 mil? No way. Mudryk is not worth 10 times more than Memphis. This Bernard, as I said, and I want to make this abundantly clear, and I've said it before, I'll repeat it for anybody turning up now. Arsenal not buying Mudryk for 100 million, that doesn't bother me. He's not worth 100 million. I was never overly gassed about the guy anyway. What I'm saying is, Arteta has said, that is the guy I want. Jesus is injured, get me Mudryk. The man has been twerking for 2 months, begging Arsenal to sign him, and the man's gone to Chelsea. It makes Arsenal look embarrassing. And I'm sorry, I'm not... I told you people, I'm going to say it as I see it. There are other channels that will dress this up and make it all look rosy in the garden. Oh, we never wanted him. He's too expensive. Let's go and get somebody else. Who are they going to get? Do you trust this Arsenal board to find the alternatives? Because I don't. Anyway, academics, if the club won't properly back Arteta, he's top of the league. They never will. Exactly. He did say once, famously, he didn't buy Arsenal to win trophies. Ash said, do you think Arteta will be fuming? He'll be fuming. Absolutely fuming. And he's got every right to. And I've criticised Arteta over the years. But tonight is not on him. This is down to the ownership. David said, this is why I never check the compilations. We are linked with them before I see them hold the shirt. I hope Chelsea get relegated. In the words of Ty, Chelsea, you're a cheat. I hope you get relegated. I'm not even mad at Chelsea. I've got nothing negative to say about Chelsea. This is about us, not them. Sosa, not only is it a distraction for the North London derby, but exposes the fraudulent Brazilian market merchant. Edu, this could be very damaging for the rest of the season. African Giant, big up yourself again. In all seriousness, though, Big C, if our board don't get a midfielder and a right back as well, then this Mudryk deal would be idiotic as far as I'm concerned. The overall is important, but priorities matter. Big up, my guy. Big up, African Giant. Enjoy the signing, man. I know you're saying you need other players in different positions, but, you know, you've got one over on us. I'm sure they will enjoy that. Am I willing to pay 200k a week? First of all, I don't care about the money if he's a good player. Second of all, as I said, I'm not particularly bothered that we didn't sign him. I don't trust the club to find the alternative. And I don't see how anybody else can trust them. Because when Aubameyang left, everyone said, don't worry, we'll sign a striker. And we didn't. And that's the reason we didn't get top 4. And Tottenham got it. Mr. Me promised McDonald's end up with an Eddie Murphy homemade burger. We got McDowell's, people. You know when you're a kid and your mum said, yo, we're going McDonald's. Yes, I'm getting a Happy Meal with the new toy, Ninja Turtles toy. They took us to McDowell's, people. Coming to America settings. We got robbed. Mudryk move announces to the rest of Europe that Arsenal can be punked. Point blank period. Kroenke's weak source. Absolute rubbish. And this is what it's about. It's not about not signing Mudryk. I can live with that. 100 million, 200 grand. I can get my head around that. We look like small fries right now. And if Arsenal turn up at my door in the next 2 weeks and try and buy one of my players, I'm like, look at this Lickalidia Edu. Yeah, man. Oh, you want my player? You want Trossard, who I'm probably willing to sell for 35 million. Yo, you man give me 60 million or move from the door, fam. I'm not interested. Because you man don't know how to move like a big club right now when it comes to the transfer market. Win tomorrow and get Trossard. Mudryk is the guy you only remember in 5 years because you got 56 duplicates of him in the Panini sticker album. Someone sent me a message saying, don't worry, he's only 72 rated on FIFA. We're drawing for FIFA, people, to try and make ourselves feel better. But don't worry, Smith Rowe, that's our big signing of January, people. Nana said, the bigger issue is the ownership. We have to make a statement of intent. We are top of the league, acting like a banter club. Man up. Listen. Jerome said, see, last January vibes again. I hope not. Stop embarrassing us, Edu. Is the blame with Edu or is the blame with the Kroenkes? Because at the end of the day, Edu can only spend what the Kroenkes give him to spend. It's not his money, it's their money. So if they gave him the 100 million, would Edu not have just paid the 100 million? Have they given him less and he couldn't negotiate the deal? You know, this is the problem. Smokey said, Curtis, last time you read out my super chat, I said I don't rate him. We should be going in for a striker. Why Arteta even wanted him when we have wingers? One of my biggest points, bro, I kept saying why João Felix should have been an Arsenal signing. We needed a striker. No, they said we have Rice at home. Bruce said absolute mediocrity at Arsenal. Kudos to you, Big C, for keeping it real. He said it as it is. This is what I admire most about your channel. Blessings from Belize. Listen, I'm not for everyone, but I say it as it is, people. Let me tell you that. I ain't here to cover it up. I'm not going to defend everything the club does. I've been inside football clubs. I know how they manipulate fan bases over social media. And I don't like seeing it from Arsenal. You know, they manipulate the fan base a lot because they know football fans were addicted to our football club. Whether you know it or not, being a football fan is an addiction. You buy the kits, you watch the games, you care about them, you check the news, you refresh on Twitter. It's an addiction, and they play on that. Colby said, I'm not upset we didn't sign him. I'm upset we wasted all the time. 100%. We could have brought in 2 or 3 players instead of wasting it. Sky Touche, it's not all about buying your number 1 target. We missed out on Rafinha. We are top of the league. Guaranteed Champions League football in the next round of Europa League. It's not the end of the world. Definitely not the end of the world. But what's the aim? We're trying to win. Our football club is about winning. You look at our most historic moments, 89, 2004. It's about winning. And we have an opportunity that you would not believe that we have on our plate this season, where we actually can win the Premier League if we show that ambition. Unfortunately, we have an ownership model that are never going to actually go for it, that will never let the handbrake off and give this manager what he needs. And I've been one of the biggest critics of Mikel Arteta, but I actually feel sorry for Mikel Arteta. You know, this guy has put us in a position we've got no right whatsoever to be in. An opportunity to achieve something historic. He's hit a January window, and number 1 striker is out injured. And these clowns won't give him the money to get 1 player in. 1 player. You won't back him because of a few million. And people going 100 million. We offered 90 million. So it's not like they blew us out of the water. We could have put 10 million more on the table and matched it and said, all right, Mudryk, your choice. We backed out. We got a little bit of heat on us and we backed out of it. It's not about Mudryk. It's about looking stupid to the rest of the world. That's why there's 5,100 people in the chat right now, because we all are frustrated. We've wasted time negotiating. We've wasted time doing offers, talking about it, and we haven't got it. Whoever we go, they know we have 90 mil to spend. Alfred said, if Arsenal show up at your door to pick up your daughter, you tell her she's not going, or give her the money because you know he's not paying her for the meal. We are crazy. Thank you for all your super chats. Thank you for all the comments. Let me break it down. Abin, of course you love the stream. Chelsea fans loving it. But I still have to remind you, we're top and you're 10th. That's all I've got right now. I'm sorry. I have to come fighting back, you know. I got to come out swinging. Let's talk about it. Unfortunately, it's happened. As I said, it's not the end of the world. We haven't signed him. It's the end of the world in the sense that we've made ourselves look really stupid. Mykhailo Mudryk to Chelsea. Here we go. Documents are being exchanged between Chelsea and Shakhtar. Deal will cost 100 million euros package, as the Ukrainian club always wanted. Mudryk is arriving in London tonight. Tonight, people. Man ain't waiting for the morning. Man started up the jet. Todd Bowley said, listen. He goes, yo, Todd, I'll be there tomorrow. Man said, tomorrow, bro. The taxi's outside. Not the taxi. The limousine's outside. The private jet, the engine has started. You're going to be at Stamford Bridge by 10:30 tonight, holding up the shirt. It's embarrassing. It's ridiculous how much time. 7-year contract. 7-year contract. May I remind you, people, Arsenal bid 90 million euros for him yesterday. Chelsea bid 100 million. He'll be in London tonight. Tonight. It's not like they spent an absolute, 30, 40 million pound more than we did. They've bought him for 10 million euros more than what Arsenal offered for him. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they've embarrassed themselves. 7-year contract, 200 grand a week. The deal's unbelievable that he's got, by the way. He's played an absolute blinder. And I said the other day that all this social media stuff, I wasn't interested in any of it. I don't care if he puts 10 Instagram posts, 10 Twitter posts. Sign for the club, stop messing about. Put a transfer request in if you're that serious. Unoob said, the way we move, we don't have time to get a plan B. It takes Arsenal weeks to get a deal over the line. We're halfway through the month. Are they going to get somebody in? Nanu said, serious question, not to go overboard, but if Arteta decided to leave, could we be mad? He squeezed all the lemonade out of the lemons. Bandulu things. You're right. You're right. Imagine if he said, yo, I'm going Barcelona or PSG or something. Johnny said he's a platinum member. Can I get unbanned? I have some things to say. Thank you. Things like you can't sign a Mudryk and give him a fee. All of your young star players, you mock them. What's he saying there? Things like you can't sign a Mudryk and give him a fee. All the other young star, I don't know what he's saying, Johnny. There, I'm all up. Well, I see him. Apologies if I'm. Some people saying I missed super chats. We got crazy 5.5K in the chat. So I really appreciate it. But £200,000 a week. Now, I just want to give you some detail. I've got some notes here, right? SMG said, stop sulking everyone. 100 million is crazy for unproven. Listen, I've got a feeling I'm going to have to say this over and over again, right? I'm going to have to say this over and over again. I do not have a problem with Arsenal not paying 100 million euros for a player that is relatively unproven. 200 grand a week. I'm not even that bothered. I swear. I promise you now, you've seen my streams. Have I ever been going crazy on the channel saying, get him, get him? I'm like, if you want him, get him. But for me, I'm not overly bothered about Mudryk coming to Arsenal. What's bothered me is you've spent months and weeks negotiating, trying to get him in. You've had 3 offers. And you still couldn't get this deal over the line. I've never seen a player want to join Arsenal as much as this guy, and we still couldn't get the deal done. How can that not concern any Arsenal fan? We're top, and the guy wants to sign for us, and we can't get the deal done. I mean, it's unbelievable. Imagine, like, a player that's not convinced by the project. How are we going to convince somebody that's not sure to come and sign for this football club? This guy wants to sign for us, and he's ended up going to Chelsea. And now where do Arsenal turn from here is the interesting part of it. Where do Arsenal go from here, people? Because I don't trust the board to sort this out. 200,000 a week, 7-year contract. He's played an absolute blinder. I said many times, and I've had arguments with people, everyone, Mudryk wants Arsenal. I said, no, he wants Premier League. He wants Premier League. His thing is, get me out of Shakhtar, get me to the Prem. He's gone from 28 grand a week to £200,000 a week on the back of 29 games for Shakhtar Donetsk. The deal is absolutely unbelievable. And his agent has played a blinder, by the way. What he's done, in my opinion, yes, he wanted to come to Arsenal. No doubt he wanted to come to Arsenal. But he's used us for publicity to create hype around his name, because Arsenal fans create more hype than probably any other fan base, right? And it's made another club look, because, you know, with Chelsea, it's almost like they're copying your homework in a test. Oh, what are Arsenal doing? Oh, they want this Mudryk. All right, maybe we'll go and get him. 100 million, we'll just pay that. You know, so they're just going to slap the money down. They would have spoken to his agent and said, listen, we know that he wants to go to Arsenal, but if we agree a fee with Shakhtar, would he come to Chelsea? They've clearly said, listen, we'll give him £200,000 a week. Do you think this guy was in any position to turn down 200,000 a week? They've paid 100 million euros. Now, on average, I'm giving you a bit of insight here, a lot of you will know this. Most players get between 7 and 10% of the signing on fee. So whatever the player costs, the player will usually get between about 7 and 10% of that price. So for 100 million, he will probably get between 7 to 10 million as a signing on fee. He would then have to split some of that with his agent. Agents will get a percentage of that. So all of a sudden, this guy's gone from 28 grand a week. He's getting 7 to 10 million in a signing on fee, and he's getting £200,000 a week for 7 years. Now, let me tell you something. Chelsea have gone crazy with this deal. But as I keep saying, I'm not interested in Chelsea. This deal could be a hit. It could be a flop. Who knows? But that's their problem. And they've got the money. and the guy's prepared to spend it. So it's crazy. It really is crazy. And as I said, my problem is not with Arsenal not signing him. My problem is I don't trust this board to find the alternative. I really don't. And that's my issue. That is my issue. A few notes that I've made here, people. According to this, Arsenal offered 90 million euros, 70 million up front, which is about 62 million pounds, and then 20 to 25 million euros in add-ons. The problem with the deal, one of the major add-ons of the deal was based upon Arsenal winning the Premier League. So Shakhtar would have been looking at that 25 million in add-ons. Bear in mind, they're 50 million euros in debt, right? They would have been looking at it going, Arsenal haven't won the league in 18 years, and one of the major add-ons is based on Arsenal winning the title. How long are Shakhtar going to have to wait to get that part of the 25 million in add-ons? They're not going to do that. Chelsea have probably said, achievable add-ons, nice and easy for you to get. You'll get the money in a couple of years. Job done, take him. Take him back on the plane with you. You can have him right now, and he can fly back with you right now. Once again, we have shown we are inadequate when it comes to dealing with big transfers in the transfer market. We are not built to win these big races when it comes to these big players. You are swimming with sharks when you're trying to win titles, people. You are swimming with sharks. You have to spend money to win the Premier League. Forget the Leicester situation where they won it. That won't happen for a long time. Liverpool won the league because that year they dropped 75 million on Van Dijk, 60 on Alisson. They already had top players and it clicked. Man City spend a fortune. Chelsea have spent fortunes. You can't win the Premier League penny pinching. And these guys won't learn. They will not learn, people. Amar said Chelsea copied our test, but we gave them the wrong answers. Gooners hyped up Mudryk to a degree. That's unreasonable. Chelsea took the bait. Plan B now. Do you know what? I don't take any positivity out of that. I'm not sitting here laughing at Chelsea going, ha, you paid 100 million for a guy that's not worth it. Because to be honest, I'm not interested one bit in anything that they do. I'm interested in what we do. And I'm disappointed more for the fact that we haven't shown that ambition. We haven't shown that we've changed. It feels like same old Arsenal. I thought being top of the Premier League, I thought the pain of missing out on top four last season, seeing Tottenham get in the Champions League, I thought all those things would change this football club's mentality. To me, it looks like same old Arsenal. You know, they're happy to finish top four, and that's kind of where we're at, people. That's kind of where we're at. Reports here, Arsenal's total package could have amounted to 95 million euros. The player joins Chelsea for 100 million euros. So they've paid 5 million euros more than us. So could we have matched it and said, all right, your choice, Mudryk? They got blown out of the water. Let's be honest, Arsenal wouldn't have given him 200 grand a week. They wouldn't have given him a 7-year contract. And the way they have structured the deal, it's blown us out of the market. But let me tell you something. 6,000 people in the chat right now, people. Unbelievable support. Even slowing down the comments, I'm struggling to keep up, but we'll slow it down a bit more. If these owners want to win the title, they need to learn to swim in the deep end. And the deep end is expensive. Chelsea will throw around money like it's running out of fashion. Man City have got big money backing them. Liverpool are on the verge of being taken over, and Manchester United. Newcastle have the richest owners in world football. For me, if we get to the end of this month and we don't do sufficient business, the Kroenkes have to leave this football club and the fans have to push these guys out of the door. I'm sorry. We are not a football club that are built off purely qualifying for Champions League. Qualifying for Champions League 5 years ago, we were complaining about that. Arsene Wenger, all he does is get fourth. He's not happy with anything more. Get rid of him. We need to win the title. Now, because we've been starved for 5 years, living in Europa League, I get it. Champions League looks like the promised land to us. The Champions League is not enough for Arsenal Football Club. We are supposed to be challenging for titles. We moved to this stadium before Tottenham built their stadium. Chelsea haven't built theirs. Man City hadn't built theirs. We were years ahead of all these clubs. Now they're overtaking us. And it's the reality. We might have the history and the fan base, but with this board, we're never going to get to where we need to get to. If we are spending 100 mil, spend it on Rice. No, thank you. 2016, we will falter by the end, said Chadle. Let's see what you're saying. Southern Guna, time for Arsenal FC to grow up and start acting like an adult. I'm telling you, these owners are immature. They're milking us. They're absolutely milking us. Stan stood in the most expensive stadium in the world. They built the most expensive stadium in the world over there for his LA Rams. His baby, LA Rams. Most expensive stadium in the world. They handed out huge contracts and won the Super Bowl. And we're over here. We can't even get a winger or a striker. We're moving like paupers with a begging bowl out. Oh, please, Stan, give me a striker. Give me a winger. Our number one striker is injured for months. We got no idea when the guy's coming back. And we can't even buy a replacement. Because this guy is handing out pennies to us. Oh, he spent 150 million in a summer window. So what? What's that going to do? That's just to give us a half a chance of competing. Nowhere near enough. Meant 200k wages. Our young stars don't earn that. I hear you, but Saka's about to sign a deal for 200 grand. And when you buy someone for 90 plus million, naturally the wages are going to be huge as well. Miss said this one hurts. Arteta really wanted this guy and knows Mudryk would have flourished in his system. Will be sad to see if he flops, knowing his potential. Have to feel sorry for Arteta tonight. You have to. If you're an Arsenal fan anyway. Zeus said, so we wasted half the window baiting Chelsea. Love how people try to make themselves feel better. No way we're using that 95 million in this window. Listen, would I rather have Mudryk and Felix at Arsenal or have them at Chelsea and they've overpaid? I'd rather have them at Arsenal. I don't care about the money. They don't care about the money when they bring out 3 kits a season, when they put the price up of the children's kits, when they're bringing out 10 to 15 training kits a season and expecting us to buy them all because they're playing on the fact that our fan base are naturally addicted to your football club, which is what you are. They don't care. Stan don't care about our money. Yeah, they'll stand there in LA. Yeah, Cecil, come, let's take a picture. This will bang on the internet. Oh, I'm over here in LA with and say all the nice things. Yeah, we're back in Mikel. We really believe in him. We've given him this new contract. Blah, blah, blah. Manipulation. They are milking the cow. They don't want to win the Premier League because the Premier League costs money. You win the Premier League, you have to go and buy big players because the fans will demand that you keep us at the top of the tree. To keep us at the top of the tree, the Kroenkes will have to spend a fortune. They will have to sign players with big egos. They will have to give people 250, 300 grand a week. Nah, Cecil ain't catching smoke. Big up Cecil, man. I'm talking about from a PR point of view. Them, man, knew, yeah, this looks good. Let's take a picture. It'll go viral. It looks like we're in LA having a big meeting, telling Arteta how much money he can spend. But in reality, they probably said, yeah, man, just come and watch an LA Rams game while, there's the World Cup's on. We'll have a quick chat and then you go to Dubai, people. It's crazy. I told you, Edu and all that with, Edu's making friends with people. I told you. I knew what was going on here. But, hey, 5K in the chat, people. Surely we can get 3,000 likes, man. There's 6K in the chat now, actually. Speaking facts. Anyway, let's look ahead. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. One of the clauses in the deal was Arsenal win the Premier League. These men are thinking, you haven't won the Premier League for 18 years. When am I really going to see that money? That's what Shakhtar's thinking. When am I going to see that money? Are you not going to win the league this year? Or, are we going to have to wait 10 years for that? They said 100 million from day one, and they got their 100 million. Fair play to them. They've played a blinder. Add to the fact they've signed Kroenke already for the summer. I'm not really looking at Chelsea now. They're having a stinker of a season. But it's ahead of that. Fabrizio adding a little bit more. Chelsea presented their project to Mudryk, told him he would be a starter immediately. Mudryk said, yes, medical will be tomorrow. Listen, he's not stupid. 200 grand a week. He probably don't care if he's starting or not. He was always going. But this football club need to react. Do I trust them to react? Not at all. Not at all, unfortunately. Johnny D, thank you very much for becoming a member. Big up everyone who came in the member stream earlier. It was a great stream. And appreciate everyone who spoke. It was all breaking the news while we was in that stream. So just to round off, 41 minutes of talking about Mudryk. Stop crying, trust the... Oh, stop crying. Listen, mate, I'm not crying. I don't care. I don't care about Mudryk. I want the alternative. Am I going to get the alternative? No. You stop crying. You're crying. Jamie said, thank you, Curtis. This is good therapy. I agree with everything you say. Listen, whether people agree or not, I just want to... I want people to give me the solution. A lot of people say, I don't care we didn't sign Mudryk. Okay, cool. Who are we signing? Because we need someone. We got Tottenham tomorrow, one of the biggest games of the season. We got Man United next week and Man City the week after. Who are we signing? João Felix, £110 million striker, available on loan. People saying no, because there's no option to buy. Who cares? Win the title, send him back. That'll do me. Would you do that for 9 million? I'd do it. People didn't want it. Why? Because we'll sign Mudryk. That's what people kept telling me. Don't worry about Felix. We'll sign Mudryk. Okay, fair enough. Now we missed out on Mudryk. So now who do we sign? I don't care as long as we get a plan B and this mess doesn't affect the players for tomorrow's game. Big up Shakhtar. Great deal for them, says Mama Knows. Mama Knows! Vindaloo said Wenger got us in the CHP League for 2 decades. Champions League. No titles won. Owners happy with top 4. Owners funding their dream club in the USA. Owners not happy being at the top. We win nothing. These owners, fans need to wake up. I'm sorry. And I'm not here to have a go at any fans because people are entitled to their opinions. A lot of people saying, calm down. And I understand that, but I'm not one for blind faith. I don't trust these owners. I don't. Because I go off the evidence of the past. And the past tells me this club don't spend big in January. And they didn't back him last season when we was in a crisis. Why are they going to back him now when we're top of the league? And they know we're going to get top 4, even if they don't spend money. So I don't trust them. I want an alternative. I want Arsenal to react, right? Now, I'm not... Yeah, it's true. I'm not here to calm down. I'm going to say it as it is. People on Twitter celebrating the wages we've saved. I'm not going to be celebrating wages. I want alternatives. Just to end it. And don't you dare come in doing this. If you heard the meltdowns this guy's been having about Jurgen Klopp, despite the fact he's won them a Champions League, a Premier League, an FA Cup, a League Cup. But big up yourself. You might get a 3-minute timeout for that comment. This guy at Napoli, by the way, I can't pronounce Kvaratskhelia. He's a baller. But listen, if you can't sign a player from Shakhtar Donetsk, do not turn up at Napoli's door because they are probably the hardest team in Europe to sign a big player off. So there's no way on earth we can negotiate with Napoli. They will beat up Edu and send him back in his suitcase, wrapped up. Big up my bro abroad, celebrating the wages we've saved. I'm telling you, they're doing the... What's the song, man? Lil Wayne and Fat Joe. Yeah, we in the terror. Got a handful of stacks. Better grab an umbrella. I'll make it rain. Make it rain on them. You know the song, people. Old school song, man. That's what they're doing on Twitter, man. They're making it rain, people. There's money all over the place. Yes, we save wages on Mudryk. We didn't sign João Felix. Look at all the money we've got. Yes. We save money. We don't want the title. We just want to save wages. Yes, we're rich. Oh, I forgot. The money doesn't go into the club and the money doesn't affect us at all. In fact, they'll probably bring out a new training kit on Monday just to distract us from all of it. Anyway, let's forget it. We haven't signed Mudryk. Bun him. Never wanted him anyway. He's a car park Neymar. Let's move on. Let's look at alternatives. But the reality is... I'm going to bring up people's pictures on the screen, but we're not even being linked with them. I'm trying to draw some sort of positivity. I said it before and I said it again, people. Do the deal. Do the deal. Wilfried Zaha, 25 million. Said it before and I say it again. Knows the league, loves the club, can play left, right, central, don't care. Get him. Get him. Give me options. Let's try and find solutions. We've took over the club. We've ran in. We've beat everyone up. They're all done. We've took over. The fans run the club now. Who are we signing? Rafael Leao. Bro, come on. Listen, I'd love to sign Rafael Leao. We've just failed to sign a guy from Shakhtar Donetsk. No disrespect. Shakhtar Donetsk. You think we can go to AC Milan and sign their best player? There's no chance with them kind of foolish add-ons. There's absolutely no chance we can get him. Keenan said Rafinha, Cava, Torres, SMS, Trossard, Zaha, Tielemans. Plenty of proven veteran players out there for less. We've got to get players that can come in and play straight away. Money talks, my friend. Money talks, people. Dirty cash, I want you. Dirty cash, I need you more. Money talks. I'm telling you, Arsenal are paying people in IOUs. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that later. Yeah, I'll give you that later. Borrowing money off people, man. I'm done with this club, man. Moving like paupers in the market. Yeah, man. They'll announce Saka's new contract soon to distract us as well. Whoa, let's not panic buy now. Panic buy? Bro, it takes Arsenal about 4 months to sign a player. We've been panic buying for a long time. Would you be up for taking Pulisic? Nah, Pulisic is out for 2 months. Imagine Chelsea signing our number one target and we sign the player they want to get rid of. I don't think so. Big C, listen to me. Matoma is the truth. I like Matoma. He's rapid as well. But yeah, I don't know. Go on, Curtis. Bring up Mbappe, Higuain, Benzema, Yanam, Villa, Zaha and Gakpo. Another therapy tomorrow after the Spurs defeat. You know how crazy it is? We've got one of the biggest games of the season tomorrow, right? Such a big game. Our focus should purely be on that match. And instead, we're out here, panicking about transfers. Because we don't trust it. And as I keep saying, and I've said this probably 10 times in this stream, my issue not for 1 minute is not for Arsenal not paying 100 million for him. I actually think most clubs would walk away from Mudryk at 100 million euros. I really do. I think most people would walk away from that deal and 200 grand a week. My problem is what big clubs do is when a transfer fails, they find the solution. They find the alternative. And my problem is I don't believe and I don't trust this Arsenal board to find the solution. That is my problem. There are solutions out there. All right, let's go through. You can sign Wilfried Zaha from Palace. 6 months left on his deal. Hasn't committed to a new deal. Wants to join the club. Patrick Vieira's the manager. You ring up Paddy Vieira. You say, listen, Paddy, you lot are mid-table. No problem. Give us Wilf. Let us win the title. Right? Job done. Keep it moving. Let's look at another alternative that is very easy to get done right now. Doesn't offer me the same level of excitement, but could be a smart signing as a squad player. Leandro Trossard, left out of the squad today for Brighton, fallen out with the manager. Apparently a £30 million offer from abroad, but according to reports, his agent said he would love to stay in the Premier League. Trossard doesn't excite me. I can't lie. I do think he's a decent player. It would be it's a mere signing. If we signed him, I'd be like, okay, it's not bad. He is a decent little Prem winger. But I don't know. Yeah, squad player. It's squad player settings, man. But he's gettable. He's gettable. Let's be real. He's somebody that you could get probably 30, 35 million quick deal. At least there's a 25 million release clause. I didn't know it was that low. Richie saying Harvey Barnes, Trossard, Tielemans. I think Harvey Barnes will be expensive. What about Matoma? The problem you've got with Matoma, he hasn't been at Brighton for long. So he's got plenty of time left on his contract. And Brighton have got money. His contract's until 2025. So he's got a couple years left. And also, you know, they got plenty of money, man. They sold Ben White. They sold Basuma. They sold Mope. They sold Cucurella. They don't need the cash. They don't need it. Now, this for me, and I'm being serious, this is the signing that I would make. Pending the court case. Pending the court case. The signing I would make right now as the reaction if I'm Arsenal is Ivan Toney. I would sign Ivan Toney right now. He would be expensive, but he wouldn't be as expensive as Mudryk. And I think he's a very, very good striker. And I think you could get him. Rafa Leao, you are not getting Rafa Leao out of AC Milan in January unless you drop 100 million plus. Probably, in fact, if Mudryk has just cost 100, Leao's going to cost 120, 130, 140. You ain't getting him. You've got no chance. And we ain't dropping that kind of money. You've seen the way we do business. We ain't getting him. So I would love to sign Ivan Toney. I think he scored again tonight for Brentford. Ivan Toney, but he could get banned. That's the problem, of course. Ivan Toney, 13 goals and 3 assists in 17 games. He's having a worldie of a season. Absolute worldie. I'm telling you now, brilliant alternative to Gabriel Jesus and Eddie. He's strong. He's powerful with his back to goal. He's 26 years of age. He's come up the hard way. I'm telling you, you know, sometimes with these signings, they're not glamorous. He plays for Brentford. He's English. He's played in League One. It's not a glamorous signing. People saying in the chat there, Lautaro Martinez. Did you see how bad Lautaro Martinez was in the World Cup? And he'd cost probably 80 million. And I actually don't think Lautaro Martinez is that good. I really don't. He probably suits Serie A. I honestly don't think he's that good. I'm telling you now, Ivan Toney, if he's not getting banned, would be a fantastic bit of business for us. I think we need a striker more than a winger. I said this many times, which is why I was so hyped about João Felix, because I think we need a striker. We were going to drop 100 million on Mudryk when we've got Martinelli and Smith Rowe left wing. Where would he have played? What, you move Martinelli central? We've never really seen him up front. I don't know how it works. I'm telling you now, bring Ivan Toney to the carpet. 13 goals and 3 assists in 17 games. 26 years of age. Powerful. Good touch. Takes penalties. I would sign Ivan Toney, but he could get banned. That's the problem. Alex said, Big C, this is going to disrupt our season. Same rubbish last year. Hoping to see another Vieira type of player. Kroenkes are not serious about anything. Where is FFP for Chelsea? I mean, 2 things are either happening to Chelsea. Number 1, either they're going to get a mad ban further down the line, or, you know, I think financial fair play can be manipulated. It can be manipulated, and we know it. And clearly he's not interested about financial fair play, Todd Bowley. Southern Gooner, big up yourself, said Tony. It never rains in Southern Brentford. I'm telling you now, people, we need to move away from glamour. We don't need glamour right now. We need somebody to answer the questions that need answering. Ivan Toney ticks the boxes of Arsenal right now, people. He can play with his back to goal. He's strong. He can score headers. He takes penalties. Premier League proven. 26. Gives us a different option. 13 goals in the Prem. We're not signing some Donny from Ukraine who we don't know whether he can play in this league. I would go for it. Problem is, obviously, is he going to get banned? So maybe you can't get him. Smokey said, remember a Big Ish Pop in TI settings? Yo, I used to go mad in the nightclub about that song, you know. Crazy about that song. Let's get a poll up. It wouldn't be a stream without a poll. Forget Mudryk. I will never mention that guy's name after today's stream. I'm not interested. I'm banning that name from the stream. I'm not interested in him. He's a fraud. He looks like Justin Bieber, and I never rated him anyway. That's how we're moving right now, people. We got a massive game tomorrow. Give me the alternative. I can only put 4 names on here. So I'm going to put 4. And if it's someone else, then then just name them in the chat. Who would you sign now for Arsenal? I'm sorry, I can't put a poll up without putting Zaha's name on there. I'll put Trossard on there because for me, it's an easy deal to get done. I'm going to put Ivan Toney on there. And I'm not putting Leao. I don't think we can get him. Osimhen, no chance. Vlahovic, no chance. I'd sign Ruben Neves. I would sign Ruben Neves. Milinkovic-Savic, I would take him as well. We can't get Osimhen in this window. Leroy Sané, that's an interesting one. He scored last night for Bayern, though. You know what? That's a name I'm going to put. Tammy Abraham. I don't like Tammy Abraham at all. I think he's a horrible player. But he's available in this window for 45 million, apparently. And he is a striker. But man said Samuel Eto'o. Gnabry signed a new 4-year deal. We've got absolutely no chance of getting that deal done. Right, apparently I missed a few super chats. Let me go back through people. Apologies if I'm missing them. I've slowed the chat right down. But you guys are relentless tonight. 6,000 people in the chat. Unbelievable numbers. Only way he's upset, I'm vexed, Big C. Imagine Arteta leaving at the end of the season because this owners don't want to win the league and he ends up going Chelsea. Listen, everyone else is going Chelsea. He'll probably end up there. Barcelona would probably go for him, or PSG. You know, they've been linked with him. True Gunners TV, big up yourself, bro. Why is nobody looking at Amrabat? He had a stormer of a World Cup. I think they put a 50 million price on his head at Fiorentina. A lot of people were scared to pay that. You know what it's like with the World Cup? You have a good World Cup and you drop a big bag and all of a sudden you realise they're not as good as you think. I reckon if you could have got Amrabat for 20, 30 million, someone would have snapped him up now. But big up yourself. Ruben Neves and Ivan Toney for 100 million. I mean, I would do that all day long as he ain't getting banned. Wilfried Zaha, St. Maximum. I think St. Maximum's a hype merchant, man. Turns up once a month, you know. He ain't that good. Kavicha is a baller. He'd be too expensive. Mitrovic. I like Mitrovic, but Fulham, they're in the top 10. He's playing well. Leao, Osimhen, Sané. I don't think we can get any of them in this window. I've got to be honest. Leao would cost more than Mudryk. He's better than him. Osimhen, I mean, I see his performance last night. You're paying over 100 million for him. Leroy Sané started last night for Bayern and scored. I just don't see why he would leave. Danjuma, I saw something about Danjuma that he's travelled to England to sign for someone, but is that Arsenal? I don't know if that is Arsenal. I saw a report that it was a mid-table team. Maybe he's going Chelsea as well. He's probably going Chelsea as well. You buy one, you get one free. Frank Kessie. What Arsenal need to do now? We had the first 40 minutes was a bit of a rant because I'm just fuming that Arsenal have been done twice by Chelsea in a week. The João Felix one actually annoys me more than Mudryk. I said it at the time, and I'll say it again. I thought that was a no-brainer, and a player that I've always very much liked. What Arsenal should do now, in my opinion, don't bother going and spending 80 or 90 million pound on one winger when we're not even desperate for a winger. For me now, Arsenal should go and get two players. Because we need a midfielder. And I said it before, even if we sign Mudryk, this window has not been good enough. We need a midfielder in this window. Because if Thomas Partey gets injured, it's a crisis at this football club. Arsenal need a midfielder in this window to make sure we're not relying as heavily on a man like Thomas Partey. They need to go and get somebody. They need to go and get somebody to cover him or maybe play next to him. And so for me, if I'm Arsenal now, I'm looking for multiple players. Sky Touche said the days of trademark number 9 are done. Haaland with his goals is actually dropping City's standard. Arteta ball is based on fluid forwards, not a target man. That is a good point. There is an element of truth in that. I'll give you that. Chris said Zaha, Toney are the only choices that would get me excited. United have me nervous. The reason I say Zaha a lot of the time is because I think it's an easy deal to get done. And I think he hits the ground running because you don't understand. I've spoken to this guy before. He wants to play for Arsenal so much. He is an Arsenal fan like we're Arsenal fans. He genuinely loves Arsenal. And I think it would mean so much to him. And I think he'd really put it in for us. George said it would be interesting to see if Arteta would want the players that might be available, such as Trossard. And that's the thing. Sky Touche, apologies if I missed one of your super chats. I did just read one, but they're flying in. Big up everyone tuned in. 6K in the chat. Arteta strikes me as one of them managers where it's like, listen, if you don't get me him, I don't want nobody else. He doesn't seem to... I've never really heard Arsenal linked with Memphis Depay or Tammy Abraham or Ivan Toney or Wilfried Zaha since he's been the manager. So he might turn around and go, I don't really want these players. They're not my targets. I asked you for Mudryk, I asked you for Felix, and you've missed out on both of them. TMB said, this is going to be a miss. This guy's not too far from Martinelli. I'm not happy, but we move. Do you know the one positive? I'm going to be totally honest. For me, and I'm saying this right now, I don't think Mudryk is better than Martinelli as a left winger. I don't. Until I see it in the Premier League, you're not better than him. So I'm not sitting there like, oh my God, they've signed a world beater. I'm more disappointed at the fact we put so much time and effort in, didn't get the deal done, and now we're scrambling with 2 weeks to go. That's my problem. But Arsenal have to react. There are options out there. There are players that look like they're available in this window. Nelson said Samuel Eto'o's son is 15 but plays like a 28-year-old. I mean, you never know. Maybe he is 28. You seen the thing that's going off with this striker at Dortmund? Is it Makuko or something? He's 18. They found out he's 22. Pluggy Steele said, Curtis, can you explain to me how can Edu get put in the friend zone by a... Oh, dear, nah, don't do that. Don't. And he had the money as well. It's crazy, Pluggy. Oh, dear, let's move on. Diaby, people are saying. Diaby from Leverkusen. I think they wanted 70 plus million. For me, midfield, you've got options, right? You've got options. Go and get Milinkovic-Savic. Who I think would be a great signing for Arsenal. Go to Barcelona. There's rumours that Frank Kessie is available. I take Frank Kessie. I would take Frank Kessie. He's a beast. Powerful. Can play. I would take Frank Kessie as a backup. Barcelona are in debt. There are players out there. We've got to be smart. Not every signing has to be the long-term expensive solution. Sometimes you can sign a player and go, right, I'll bring him in for 6 months, get me to where I need to get to, and then I'll move elsewhere. I would take Frank Kessie on loan for 6 months. That's a no-brainer for me of a signing. I think he's a very good player, powerful, experienced. I would take him. Anib said, Big C, just joined the stream. This news has hurt me big time. We tried building the right way and Chelsea just come through like that. Get Zaha now. I'm with you. Get Wolf. Get Wolf, get a centre mid, we win the title. I'm telling you, people, it's electric. Elliot Roberts, Zaha and Milinkovic-Savic bounce back. I'm telling you, this is now a bounce back window. How are you going to respond to the situation we're in? Everyone's on socials right now laughing at Arsenal. You've spent months, weeks talking about this guy. They have to react. That's what big clubs are supposed to do. React to a difficult situation and get this club in the right shape. Nino said, look at Liverpool, badly need a centre mid. Look what's happened to them. Zaha, Tielemans and Neto. Nassar, Memphis Depay from Barcelona. I would take him. Jepson, thank you for becoming a member on the channel. Really appreciate that. What I'm saying is the positivity is there are a lot of good options of players that are available right now that improve this team straight away. Straight away. They improve this team. We don't need the glamorous signing. We need the right signing, people. This is the thing. We need the right signing. Players that can come in, hit the ground running, improve us straight away. I would take Ruben Neves. It's a player that I rate very highly. For me now, as I said, we have to find the positive in a negative situation. We clearly have got money to spend. We were just going to drop 90 million euros on Mudryk. 90 million euros right now can get Arsenal 2, maybe even 3 players, right? Maybe even 3 players. Midfield are needed. Whether that's Neves, whether that's Frank Kessie, whether that's Milinkovic-Savic, whether that's Yuri Tielemans, even though I'm not that hyped about Tielemans. There are players that are available in midfield. If you want to sign a winger, there are wingers that are available. Trossard, Zaha. There are various others out there that you could probably bring in. And if you want a striker, you could probably get Tony. You could probably get a Mitrovic. A lot of people saying Bobby Firmino. That's an interesting one. I think the problem with that, he's out of contract in the summer. Liverpool having a tough time. He's got 6 months left. Would Klopp really sell him to Arsenal when Liverpool are having a difficult situation themselves? Mitomo is a good player, but he wouldn't be cheap. He would not be cheap. Osman said Frank Kessie on loan with an option for 25 to 35 million. No brainer. Desta said get Rashford. I mean, bro, come on. Man, you'd... He's their best player at the moment. I did say for a long time, didn't I, on this channel, people, go and get Rashford. People were calling him Trashford. Big up James with the super chat. Appreciate that, bro. Big up Dallas Schwartz for becoming a member on the channel. Really appreciate it. Caicedo, by the way. And somebody just said get Caicedo. I don't know if anybody's heard, and we've said this before. Caicedo is being linked with a move to, guess who? Chelsea. They clearly don't care about financial fair play. Obviously, Graham Potter signed Caicedo for Brighton, so any good player from Brighton naturally is going to be linked with them as well. I just think the important thing here, people, but I'm going to speak about a couple more stories, but I think the important thing here, people, is let's look at it like this. Not signing Mudryk is not the end of the world. The deal was massively inflated. They stuck by their guns the whole way through, Shakhtar. 100 million euros or you don't get the player. They got the player because it turned into an auction. Now, why did it turn into an auction? It turned into an auction because Edu and the Kroenkes took too long to negotiate the deal and get it over the finish line. 2 weeks ago, it looked like we had a free run at Mudryk. 2 weeks later, Chelsea have lost Pulisic, lost Raheem Sterling, Aubameyang's having a nightmare, and they needed an attacking player. They've been lazy, they've looked around quickly, 100 million will pay it, no messing around. These guys have blown this deal. People will dress it up on social media and go, 100 million, it's too expensive for him. The reality is, Arsenal knew it was going to be expensive, and Arsenal identified him through Mikel Arteta, and he said, that is the player I want. Get me him. And Edu has taken too long to negotiate the transfer. What he's done, he's got interest from a big team with big money who don't mess about, and we've got blown out of the water. We won't pay the money. We've put stupid clauses in the contract, and we couldn't handle it when the Sharks turned up. If you want to make this club where we should be, challenging for leagues, challenging for Champions Leagues, winning the major trophies, you have to understand the direction of football. And the direction of football is you have to spend big money. The market is ridiculously inflated right now. It's sink or swim. If the Kroenkes are not prepared to swim, they need to leave this football club. Because no disrespect, we're not Crystal Palace, we're not Southampton, we're not Brighton, we're not Brentford. No disrespect to any of them teams. They're all very competent Premier League clubs. We moved to this stadium in the background to win the major trophies, the trophies that we weren't able to win at Highbury, Champions Leagues. We're further away from a Champions League trophy than we've ever been right now. Now, a lot of Arsenal fans will go in the comments after this stream and say, you're being negative. Be patient. There's 2 weeks to go. We've saved wages. The player isn't worth it. Blah, 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 blah. This football club is drowning in mediocrity. And sometimes, when you're a part of mediocrity for so long, it becomes acceptable because that's all you're used to. That's all you're being fed and all you're being given is mediocrity. Finish 8th. Oh, we've just lost Arsene Wenger. It's going to take us time. Miss out on Champions League to Tottenham. Oh, it's a process. At least we're back in Europe. Miss out on the Premier League title because you didn't go for it in the January transfer window. Oh, we've made progress. We're back in the Champions League where you've wanted us to be for a long time. Yeah, the same Champions League that 5.5 years ago, our fan base was protesting outside the stadium for Arsene Wenger to leave because he kept finishing fourth. Now, 5 years later, I'm supposed to celebrate Champions League football and act like that's the be-all and end-all. If this club went for it in this January transfer window and Manchester City finished above us, we could have all put our hands up and said, you know what? Credit, you went for it, you spent, it didn't happen. We weren't quite ready for it. And we can all accept that and we can all hold our hands up and say, bravo, you showed ambition, we weren't quite there. Manchester City are a machine and it takes a long time sometimes to break that machine down. But this club are not showing the ambition. This owner is showing us that these words still ring true, in my opinion. And I think the fans, until the fans realise what this guy is doing, will we ever win the title? I am defending Mikel Arteta today. Your board and your sporting director have let you down, Mikel. And you know what? If you get to the end of the season and you leave and you go to a Barcelona or you go to a PSG, you're entitled to do it because this ownership and this sporting director are not good enough. They're not going to overcome Manchester City. They're not going to overcome a Liverpool if they get taken over and Klopp's got money on the hip. And they're not going to overcome a Manchester United if they get taken over and they've got money on the hip. You are ripping off this fan base. He is an absolute fraud. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen Arsenal at the top and I've seen Arsenal struggle. This guy needs to sell this football club and let somebody else take over who wants to win the title, who wants to win the Champions League. Even if you don't get there, show the fans that ambition that I'm not there, but I want it. And I'm going to try and do what it takes to get there. He's a fraud. He should have never been allowed to buy this football club. And as soon as this fan base wakes up and realise what this guy is, right, the sooner we get back to where we was when we were wearing this shirt at Highbury. We're losing our identity under this guy. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're top of the league. Great. Are we going to stay at the top of the league? Not with this transfer window, we're not. Not with this transfer window, we're not. It's a shambles. And I'll be the fall guy. Plenty of people who jump in the comments, oh, you're negative, we're top of the league, he's not worth 100 million, trust the process, blah, blah, blah. Forget all that. Forget all that. I don't care if it's 2 weeks, 4 months. I don't care how long that window is open for. You identified your target. You messed around with the deal and you've been embarrassed by your rival, who is 10th in the Premier League. How on earth are you top of the Premier League and the club in 10th come and blow you out of the water, embarrass you with the contract that they put on offer? You're top. You're the team that every player should want to go to, and you still can't get the deal done. So how are you supposed to win the battle if you're trying to sign him ahead of Manchester City? Or how are we ever going to get top players if we can't negotiate while we're top of the league and they're 10th? It's absolutely ridiculous. And listen, I told you people, if you want to hear roses and fairy tales, there's other channels. Yeah, too negative, cool. Go watch another channel. Go watch another one. I'm here to speak the truth. I'm an Arsenal fan. There's a lot of Arsenal fans in here and a lot of fans of other clubs. No Arsenal fan can celebrate what's gone off in this past week. Top of the Premier League, biggest opportunity in years. 2 big players available. And both of them go to a team that's 10th in the league. Not because they're better than us, not because they're bigger than us, but because their owner has said, go and get him. The manager wants him, so get him. Am I overpaying? Yeah, but I've got the money. The Kroenkes are rich. It would not have hurt them to spend the money if he wanted him. It would not have hurt them to drop 9 million on João Felix. It's absolute pocket change to the Kroenkes. They've built the biggest and they've built the most expensive stadium in the world. They've built the most expensive stadium in the world and just won the Super Bowl in America. Yet I'm supposed to sit here and defend this fraud who won't spend 9 million on João Felix on loan because it's too expensive. He won't spend money on Mudryk because he can't compete with Chelsea. It's a shambles. He's took the soul out of this football club. He's turned us into a business. And what happens on the pitch is just a bonus for this fraud, I'm telling you. The American owner is selling Man United, the Glazers, and FSG at Liverpool. This fraud needs to go next. I'm telling you now, this fraud has to go next. He's a cheat. He's cheating the fans out of what they deserve. No football club is entitled to win a title every year. We know that. No football club is entitled to win trophies every year. Football, that's how it goes. Sometimes you have a spell, it's just not happening for you. How long are we going to, keep taking these hits, taking this embarrassment, taking this foolishness in the transfer market? Over a decade, Van Persie to Man United. Luis Suarez, 40 million and a pound. Gonzalo Higuain, in our hands, couldn't get the deal done. Jamie Vardy, even them deals we couldn't get done. And now we're still going through it. And what's the thing? This ownership model. These frauds, I'm sorry. We will never, ever win a Premier League title or a Champions League with these guys in charge. So what is the point them being here? I don't want to hear the PR. I don't want to see no pictures. I don't want to hear no stupid interviews. They're frauds, mate. They're absolute frauds. I'm sorry. I'm saying it as it is. I told you, you'll never see me working with Arsenal on social media. Because when you speak straight facts, they'll never let you. I don't care either. I don't care. I don't need to work with the club. Because they'll try and compromise you and you can't speak your truth. Plenty of other channels where they'll speak fairy tales and will run through the garden with all the poppies and roses around. I don't care about that. I'm here to speak facts. This club that you are mugging off the fan base. They brought out merch on Monday. Lunar New Year merchandise. Oh, look at our new stadium artwork. Oh, yeah, beautiful. What player's going to play in it? Oh, yeah, you ain't signed no one. Fraudulent behaviour. Not everyone will agree, but I'm saying it. Big on my bro Fran. Unicorn fans will be okay with it. I told you. They're throwing money in the air, man. We've saved wages. Oh, look at the wages. Oh, yes. It was too expensive. Oh, we didn't want to pay it. On that, pay the money, man. It's a joke. It's a joke. But, hey, it is what it is. Some fans will lap it up. It is what it is. Interestingly enough, we got a game of football tomorrow. We play Tottenham. I tell you something. We better not lose. I'm not in the mood for them. I was excited for that game. I'm not even excited because now I'm concerned. The one thing that will lift the mood, I can't lie, is a North London derby win. Chelsea pay 60 million with add-ons up to 88. The add-ons include winning the Prem, winning the Champions League. How was Edu miss this up? I'm not even interested in it. I'm not even bothered about it anymore. Depay is now open to leaving. Get him. Honestly, we're not good enough to turn these players down. I know a lot of fans go, I don't really want... Get them. Get them in. Look, get them in. We're in no position to reject anyone of high quality right now. We're really not. Let's just briefly look ahead to the game tomorrow. We've got a lot to talk about tomorrow, that's for sure. Jamie said, new sub here. Love your realness, brother, because I'm kind of fuming the way we're moving. It's mad. Honestly, the people like I don't even want everybody to agree with me. That's not my issue. I don't want everyone to agree with me. I like the fact that some people are debating, right? I've got no problem with that whatsoever. My biggest thing that I want is I want every Arsenal fan to understand that these owners are the biggest problem at this football club. That's all I want. Whether you love Arteta, still not convinced by Arteta, whether your favourite players Martinelli or Saka or Saliba or Odegaard, that's cool. Well, you can even not like my opinions. No problem. I don't expect everyone to like the opinions. All I want Arsenal fans to understand is our ownership is not the ownership that we need at this football club. They have not got the ambition that is required. Arsenal are a giant. One of the biggest clubs in world football. One of the biggest fan bases. Unbelievable history. We are not getting what we deserve out of this ownership. But anyway, let me stop because I'll be here all night. Prem Ready said, I'm gutted missing out on Mudryk, but giving him lucrative salary would make Saka Martinelli feel small for all the process they underwent to be here. Hope we get someone big before the window ends. Listen, as I've said, and I've said it along, a number of times, not signing Mudryk, not the end of the world. He hasn't even done that much to be worth 100 M's. He might be a world beater, he might not. But they have to find an alternative. Do you trust them to find it? I'm not sure. We tried to get the player, but we were outbid. I can already see the excuses. Shameless. It's ridiculous. Fabrizio has just tweeted, I understand Memphis Depay will leave Barcelona in the January window. Decision is being made. He'll try new experiences if all goes to plan. They're negotiating with Atletico Madrid, but still not agreed. I would sign him. I swear, honestly, I've said it so many times on this window. I would sign Memphis Depay. I would. 28, point to prove, Barcelona player. £9 million they want for him. I'd take him. We're in no position to turn down quality players. Tap Out Tobe said, Big C, if we lose tomorrow, I reckon the fan base are going to lose it. Added pressure now, must-win game, no excuses. While we're here, we'll just look at the league quick and kind of have a brief look ahead to tomorrow. I had to have this therapy session. I needed it as much as everyone else. Arsenal play Tottenham tomorrow, and isn't it crazy how the dynamics of a game can change? Because I'm now looking at this game going, this feels like we have to win this game tomorrow. It really does. It feels to me like we have to win. Because the feeling around the club is just different now. Everyone's frustrated. Man City have been beaten. We've got an opportunity to go 8 points clear. And now we know United are 6 points behind and we play them next week. So that pressure's there. We know that we've got a relatively young squad. And the last thing you want to do is put more pressure on them. What I will say, and I said this on the member stream, if I'm Gabriel Martinelli right now, who plays left wing, and the deal for Mudryk collapses, that might actually improve that might improve the way that I feel, because let's be honest, no footballer really wants heavy competition for their place in their starting lineup. Competition is healthy and it can push you. But if you're a striker, anyone who's played for any football club at any level, right? You've been there, changing room, new player walks in, you look him up and down, you go, all right, cool, yeah. You give him the nod, yeah, well, yeah, man, let me go full screen. He walks in, yeah, and you're like, yeah, man, what are you saying? What are you saying? And you're watching him, your eye moves, and what boots has he got? He's got them new Vapors, and you start thinking, wow, not many centre-backs wear the new Vapors. I'm a striker, so if he's wearing Vapors, I'm already on the defensive. And you go up to him, yeah, man, what are you saying, bro? Yeah, cool, where you from? What's your name? And then you ask that question, what position do you play? Man says, I'm a striker, and you go, all right, cool, and you turn away. All of a sudden, you don't like the brother. You say, wait till we start this training, session. Studs are rolling today, people. If he turns around and said, yeah, man, I play left wing. My brother, what are you saying? You busy on Saturday? Yeah, man, we go to this club round the corner. We get VIP. Let me add you to the WhatsApp group, bro. Left wing, you sure? You don't like playing up front sometimes? Nah, I hate up front. Yeah, man, cool. WhatsApp grouping. We're going outside. I'll pick you up. You're local. Yeah, man, bless, bro. Respect my brother. Left wing, yeah, you sure? Yeah, man, cool. Still. That's how it goes. Martinelli right now is going, yeah, man, the £100 million left winger ain't turned up. So I'm happy right now. So you might see an even better Martinelli tomorrow. But it is what it is. But from a football club point of view, the signing would have lifted the place. And I think some of the players would have needed to have seen new signings. So what I will say, you know what it is with me? Sometimes when I get that initial feeling off my chest, I calm down a little bit. I've got to be honest, I've calmed down a little bit. This is why I call it Arsenal therapy. It genuinely helps. I hope it helps a lot of you in the chat as well. I feel a lot more calm about it now. It's about what we do now. We have to react. Go and get 2 players in. You've just saved yourself 90 million euros on a player. So you've got money to spend. Go and get 2 players. Go and get a centre mid and a striker, or a centre mid and a right winger. And bring players through the door to give us that opportunity, man. James, thank you for the super chat, bro. Curtis, you spend your precious time keeping all of us entertained. Just wanted to say thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Listen, thank you to all of you tuning in. Still 5,500 of you on YouTube. 52 of you on Twitch. It was an unexpected stream, but it had to be done. It had to be done now. I couldn't wait till the morning. Beresford Productions, you're going to be like Liverpool 13-14 and nearly win the league. I hope not. Big up to you for the support, bro. Curtis, who's bigger, Arsenal or Chelsea? I think Arsenal are bigger. I think we're a bigger club than them, to be honest. The Champions Leagues definitely give them a right to have a debate with us, though. I'm not going to cap. You know, the last 15 years they've been better than us. Samson said, "Thank you for your great work." Let me get through a few comments and then we're out of here, people. Bruce said, "Big C, I feel like Tupac when he wrote Hit 'Em Up." I'm telling you, I need to make diss tracks for people right now. Elliot said, "Indeed, we have to react. Point blank. Period." Listen, I always say, in life, don't get caught up on problems. Figure out solutions. That's how people are successful in life. Solution finders. You don't get caught up in problems. There's problems in the world, but solutions are what give people success. Arsenal can't sit there and feel sorry for themselves. Oh, we missed out on Mudryk. We've missed out on João Felix. Bun João Felix and bun Mudryk. Bun both of them. You're an op now. I didn't want you anyway. Go and find the next solution. There's answers. We've just named about 8 players that Arsenal could go and sign. In fact, if they react in the right way, what has happened tonight could be a positive, because they were going to spend 90 million on one player, where I would rather see us spend 90 million on 2 players in 2 positions that we need. But the problem is, if they don't react, then it's a major, major problem, and it's meltdown settings. It really is. But listen, Dallas said, "Curtis, just came across your channel. Really like it. We're so happy to join up. Have a great evening and a wonderful day. Really appreciate it." Malaysian Guna, keep on preaching, Father Curtis. Big up yourself. Mafia boss. Arsenal let Mudryk down, not the other way round. He was desperate to sign and we didn't get him. But it is what it is. Vernon said, "Big C, it's right. Embarrassing." Asim said, "Big C, if you look at how pedantic and specific Arteta is in finding talent that fits the process, I can't see anyone coming in." That's my worry as well. He's very specific with the player that he wants. He doesn't seem to be like, well, if I don't get him, I'll take him. And that's what worries me. He clearly wanted this guy. You've seen him smiling in the press conference yesterday. I think he thought that deal was done. He had that little smug look on his face. I think he thought he had him. Zaha, Jesse and Memphis. Who's Jesse? I hope you're not saying Jesse Lingard, but I take Zaha and Memphis. Top of the league, 0 Paul. That's how we're moving. But we have got Paul. We don't use it. Apparently Turkish is doing a stream this evening, and when he's going live outside of the Big Six, you know he's vexed. So make sure you go and support my bro. I'm not sure what time he's live, but I'll keep tuned in. Listen, I'm gonna let you go. I'll be live tomorrow, 3:45, North London derby against Tottenham. We have to react. We have to find a way of winning the game. Well, let me get Cruz on quick. Comey wants to come on. Get in. Mudryk's gone to Chelsea. We never rated him anyway, did we?
I kind of did.
You kind of did. You've been watching them YouTube videos, did it, of him running really quick?
Yeah. He's mad quick.
Who do you reckon now? What do we do?
I would definitely take Ivan Toney. I think he's really good.
Good striker.
He's going to get banned probably.
Yeah.
I'll take Depay.
Yeah. We can get them, man, as well.
Yeah, we can get them, but it's just if Arsenal are going to spend money.
You said 2-1 tomorrow. You still going for 2-1 to Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Tottenham can still score a goal.
Yeah. But we can get at their defence. Chicken Royale at right back.
Yeah.
Get him. Get you on tomorrow for your review after. Big up, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Take care. Listen, let's hope tomorrow we're celebrating anyway. 3:45 will be live tomorrow. And I tell you what, if tomorrow doesn't go well, it's going to be Arsenal therapy on Monday. If it goes You know, if it does go well, though, then we're back, people. We're back. Listen, thank you very much for tuning in. Arsenal Therapy Settings. Appreciate your support, your interaction. It was a bit of a last-minute stream, but it had to be done. Apparently, Turkish is live at 10 o'clock, so make sure you go and tune in, support him. I'll be in the comments. Be interested to hear his take on it. 3:45 tomorrow, North London derby. Smash that like button on the way out. Enjoy your Saturday night, people. And listen, Mudryk, I never wanted that Justin Bieber fraud anyway. I'll see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.